Nice.
Yeah. We met down that way. We were in the Marines.
Oh, so you guys have known each other and for a while.
Oh yeah, about almost
we all
over 20 years. Yep.
So what was the history? How'd you guys decide to start doing a podcast? I'm
gonna start right now, then I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna push live, and then I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay, for sure. I'm just trying to kind of get in the flow of the conversation. So
yeah, definitely. Welcome to the Just Two Black Brothers podcast. I'm DJ Period. That's my brother PoPolitickin, and we got the third brother on with us tonight. Is Blasco Says. Before we came on, he was asking how me and Poe met. So some of y'all already know, but we were both Marines, stationed at Camp Pendleton in 2000. So what? 22 years. Right? Yes, down in San Diego area. So that was year 2000. So he got out in 2004, and he always wanted to be a journalist. So he started up PoPolitickin. And then I would just come on and make little brief appearances throughout his shows. I would provide mixes for the artists, but then I wanted to do it too. So we started Just Two Black Brothers in 2017.
Wow, that's been going for a while. It's 6 years. That's a good run.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we done had over, how many guests we had? Probably like over 200, I would say, in that time.
You guys could probably do a really compelling book, just
you have. It's nice you say that, because Poe was put together. But he's the brainchild behind it. He's putting together a hip hop museum, and a lot of it will be, some of the interviews that we've done and that he's done over the years will be like exhibits in this museum that he's working on.
That's kind of interesting, because one thing that to me that's always been kind of interesting is digital archiving. I see all the mixtapes and stuff, and I kind of wonder, I hope that all that hard work doesn't eventually kind of evaporate into cyberspace. So I'm hoping that somebody can kind of come up with the concept, maybe Dat Piff or somebody like that can come up with a concept where they kind of create a museum or a digital archive of all these mixtapes and things like that, because it's not the same as in, with vinyl and CD. It's there basically forever, even though you're just paying for the licensing. But to me, it's kind of fascinating, when you're talking about like digital archiving and stuff like that. I'm like, where is all this hard work gonna go?
I think he already jumped on it already. He probably was thinking that same thing, like, because some stuff it's hard to find now. So if you go like, and what happened was, I knew a lot of people like Lil Wayne. So what I did was I went and found all of these old freestyles that he did and that are hard to find, or you would have to search crazy. So I put it together in a mixtape, and I put it on Spinrilla.
Nice.
And that thing did some numbers, because people were like, "Damn, where'd you find these?" Because like you said, that stuff is almost obsolete if you don't find somebody who can grab it and preserve it.
Well, what's interesting is Lil Wayne has recorded a lot of, from what I've understood, acapellas. So those acapellas went to different beats, and DJs kind of laced up the tracks and syncopated it with different beats and things like that. But how many acapellas is he probably left?
That's what. Look, before we go, because you seem like you know what you're talking about. Can you let people know who you are, where you're from, what you do?
Okay, that's fine for sure. I'm Jason Blasco, also known as the artist Blasco Says. I'm a singer and a songwriter and a spoken word artist. I've got a new album called Valediction, which was I guess it's not so new anymore, but it was released. We dropped it in late October. So I'm still grinding on that. So it's a 6-track EP, and I recorded it and wrote all of it here in Kauai, Hawaii.
You live how long you been in Hawaii?
I've been in Hawaii for 3 years. I came right before the COVID.
Oh wow! So how was it there during COVID? Was it no tourists?
There was no tourists. We actually had a curfew And on this island, we had a curfew. We had to be in our houses by 9 o'clock, or else we risked having a year in jail or a $5,000 fine. That was at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Are the jails on the beach in Hawaii too?
What's up?
Are the jails on the beach in Hawaii?
I never thought about that, but that's pretty funny, So
you like, y'all wouldn't mind going to jail if it's on the beach, but
I don't ever want to be incarcerated in my life if I
I hear you, man. I hear that. But
so you a sports journalist too?
Yes, I was a sports journalist, mostly covering small high schools and colleges. But I've covered. I've had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. I've covered some All-Star weekends and WNBA finals. I've been to NBA practices and NFL training camps. So that's been pretty cool throughout the years. I've gotten a chance to do a lot of really neat stuff.
How lit was the WNBA finals? Because I just got tickets to a New York Liberty game. I'm supposed to be going on next Friday. I only went to the games when they first started, and it wasn't fun.
I'm sorry. This was in 2007.
Well, that's like when it came out, right? It
came out in about 95, 90. I think 96 was the inaugural year because Lifetime actually broadcasted a lot of their early games. I think they had an actual agreement with Lifetime initially, and then as it grew, obviously, so this was in 2007. The team I was covering was the Phoenix Mercury. That was Penny Taylor and Diana Taurasi.
Diana Taurasi was on, yeah.
Yeah, and this before Brittany Griner. Came to the Mercury and they became like this dynasty. But they were playing the Detroit Shock, who was coached by I love this because I got
Bill Laimbeer, I think, right?
Bill Laimbeer.
But Karl Malone's daughter was on that team.
Oh, really?
I think Cheryl Ford.
Yeah, I did not know that actually. So
I wonder if that. I was like, is that his real daughter? But they said it was.
He was like illegitimate kids. He had like 2 kids. He had a son that played for Buffalo too, but he didn't take care of none of his kids.
Oh.
Yeah, but they ended up going pro, both of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Karl Malone was probably one of the most physical. He doesn't have the reputation of Bill Laimbeer, but they could have probably came out with a Karl Malone.
Look, them cheap shots him and Stockton threw. They need their own documentary, man.
I was gonna. It's funny that y'all mentioned the WNBA because I just got finished watching this documentary about Sue Bird. She alright.
I like Sue Bird.
Yeah,
she be fighting for a lot of like she like an activist too. She be speaking up on a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that Title IX was only, I believe, 1972 that it was enacted. So that's only about 4 decades ago that, or maybe about 5 now, closer to 5. But Title IX? Title IX gave the opportunity for women's sports to have more equality in scholastic activities. Before that, they did not have like all the high school volleyball and the high school basketball, all the opportunities to get the collegiate scholarships that they have now. Title IX was something that really opened up the doors.
When are they going to pay them?
When are they going to pay them? I've always wondered that because that was interesting to me when I covered the WNBA. It just felt like they were always going to be under the NBA's thumb, so to speak. I would love to see it. I started my career covering women's volleyball and basketball. I would love to see them, kind of flourish. But I just don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to happen.
But that's why Brittany Griner is in the situation that she's in, because she had to play overseas to try to supplement. A lot of them do it though. They play overseas to supplement the income, because I think the max contract for the WNBA is probably like $130,000 a year, maybe. Yeah, that's what NBA players they got that in their pocket just walking around.
I think the NBA makes more money than the WNBA, so it's like you can't pay them the same if they ain't making the same amount of money. It don't add up.
I think where Penny Taylor made most of her money was playing in Australia, so that would be congruent with what you said.
Yeah, right. So you
Oh, I was gonna tell you period. I saw he got a song with 3D Not T.
No, look, I'm about to ask him, so I was gonna say, look, you know what? So Eris, shout out Eris and UBO, she said that you were coming on the show to talk about a lot of people in the industry, not bad, but just things that you've done and things that you and things that you know. But so yeah, 3D Not T. We worked with her back in 2009, 2010-ish.
Really?
I think she was on PoPolitickin. She interviewed with PoPolitickin, and I put out a mixtape called These Females Got Bars Too. You know, like showing some love to the female rappers, right? So we got her on there. You know, she called me, left me a voicemail, did me a nice little drop for it. But then, you know, and I don't think it's no shit, no fault to her. Like, you get busy, I guess, because I know I've reached out to her a few times, but via DM, and I already know how that could be if you somebody who's up there. Like, your DM's probably full of like weirdos, people wanting free beats, free verses, whatever. So she probably didn't see my message. That's what I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna let her hold on to that. She didn't see my message because of the other stuff. But yeah, we worked with her. Back then for a few years. So you did a song with her?
Yes, it was called Know Ya Saints. It that had Mystical and Kevin Gates and myself on it.
All right, tell me how y'all made that happen.
Okay, well that's pretty easy. My producer has had a long association with Cash Money Universal. Since 2002. He's been associated with them. So going back to like the Juvenile, the Turk, you know, all of those guys back in the day. So, you know, and pretty much that they were the kings of the industry at that point. I mean, they were I don't want to sound like Nelly, but they were number one, you know. So
no, look, back 2002, yeah, because you know it was funny because some people want to like put Cash Money versus No Limit, but shit. No Limit, like the ending of No Limit's reign was kind of like the beginning of Cash Money's reign. Like I will never really compare them to each other because that 97, 98, that was all No Limit.
I don't want to get too far into geographic politics, but let's be honest, No Limit, you know, Master P, you know, he came from like what, like
it was in the Bay Area.
Yeah, the Bay Area there. And so, you know, so he didn't really start. Yeah.
But you know what him was, he was kind of beefing with Drew Down. So like it was like, yo, you can't have two ice cream mans both in the Bay, you know? So one of them had to leave. And not saying that Drew Down ran Master P out the Bay, it's just that Master P was like, shit, all right, well, if I can't be the if Drew Down want to be the ice cream man here, I'm gonna go be the ice cream man out there. And look where it took it. Look where it took Master P.
Yeah, shout out to Master P too, though. I know his daughter just died.
Yeah, and yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, his daughter passed. I think they said it was an overdose. So you know they was talking about you know that mental health and that and overdosing and people just taking care of themselves mentally.
So they said it was an overdose.
Yeah, they said it today though. They put out an article.
You know,
like an accidental overdose, they said though.
I believe Master P also had a son. I believe his name was Little Romeo, correct?
Oh yeah, Little Romeo. He's still doing his thing.
He got a son. He got another daughter named
Symphony.
Yeah, Symphony. Yeah, he got some more kids, but still.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I was not in the industry during that time. I was very young at that point when you know, Master P and all of those guys were coming into the game. But from my understanding, there was quite an independent music scene down in New Orleans. You know. You know that's probably long gone, unfortunately. But I love the idea of having a large underground scene like that.
Definitely. So how'd you get into hip hop? Like, what made you fall in love with the culture?
You know, I want to say this is kind of going back a ways. So forgive me if I'm going to sound like this is ancient history, but that Warren G Regulators, that entire album, and I know
that album was dope.
Yeah, and I think Nate Dogg obviously made that Regulators track, with the chorus, but that entire album, really attracted me to the culture of hip hop. The other thing is my cousin Ben Runkle, he was back in the late 90s. He put on shows in University of Madison, Wisconsin, called Hip Hop Generation as a Movement, and so he was able to get grant money. I don't know how he did this, but he's just one of those guys, and he was able to get grant money, about $300,000, to put on these shows. Like they had Idea, who was fresh off the Blaze battles. They had Wendy Day from the Rap Coalition, which rumor has it that she actually bought Eminem's plane ticket to the Rap Olympics in '97. I know that that's kind of a convoluted rabbit hole, and then
you can have that though. Listen, if that's their story, they claim it. Let them keep it. Who are we to say it didn't happen?
I can feel that, So, but you know what I'm saying. There's all the urban legends of how this happened or how that happened, but that's one of the legends, that she ended up buying his plane ticket. Plus, she's probably on the Sources top 20 most influential people in hip hop, I would say. So I got to go to a panel there. So I got to just see the whole culture, and then Planet Asia was there too. Back in the day. So I got to be around it, and I don't know why. I was a kid in high school. I just caught this bug, and I already had it, but like being in it, like it just made me want to do it more. And I'm like, I always wanted to be a recording artist, but it didn't really come until later in life, because my focus had been on sports journalism. I was a newspaper writer for many years.
Oh wow, okay. And who are some other artists you work with?
Well, I've worked with, let's see, I've got credits with ASAP Rocky is probably the biggest guy that I got BMI credits on. ASAP Rocky, Mystical was that was my personal favorite.
My guy, yo, I like Mystical.
He did a lot of interesting interviews when he right when he got out. And he had a weird situation, because he was still contractually obligated to Jive Records to do another record. I was listening to that on like some kind of live stream, and he seems to be doing his thing now. He did that single he did with Lil Dicky was off the chain, so that's been a while.
I used to like Lil Dicky, but I don't know. I didn't know he was still recording though.
Yeah, he was on my album called Space the Rainbow, which was released in 2016, January 26th. So he was also on my record, but that was really before. I mean, he was known, but that was before he like just blew up into this whole other stratosphere.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you ASAP Rocky was on the song called Bieber.
Yes, that was with.
Oh, Azalea Banks was on there too.
Azalea Banks, yeah.
I call her Azalea. But look, it's Azalea though. But look, that's ain't she the controversial girl? She always be like putting stuff out about people.
Yeah, it seems like she's always lighting up Vlad TV.
Yeah, I'll be like, damn, man, she always be like just throwing some kind of dirt out there on somebody.
No, I'm riding for it, man. I kind of like it though, man. I think she outspoken, man. Just like it ain't a lot of women that be doing it. So when she doing that shit weird, but.
Nah, man, she'll come out there and be like, Jay-Z peed on me on the set of this video. I'll be like, damn. Like, you got pee. Like, why you talking about you got like little. And it's shock stuff, though. So it catches the people's attention. Like.
I shock or is it really what be going on, though? I think she just be saying the real.
But I guess you brought up an interesting point, because, it's interesting how the dynamics of the music industry change. I used to just love the music, but it seems like in order to sell records, you almost have to like do what Azalea does and throw some dirt out on people or like, you know what I mean? Like you talked about the shock value, and it's like, I get it. I understand we're trying to sell records, but it's like,
Or what are you known for? What Drake said on Lemon Pepper Freestyle. No, sometimes I gotta ask y'all what your profession is. Sometimes I gotta ask you rappers, what do you do for a living? Mm-hmm. Because are you a rapper? Like you said, are you somebody who just because look, I can't name one song by her right now. If you tell me what's the song by her, I can't remember. I couldn't name one because I know her more so for her interviews that she gives now.
That's interesting, because like I said, I used to tie in with the music, like Trick Daddy. I loved a lot of the Trick Daddy's records.
Oh yeah.
But what I didn't gravitate towards him because he was saying something about so and so. I just feel like that's so polarizing. Although it works, I'm not going to deny that it works. But it is interesting how our society kind of become that way, and how polarizing is that?
Hey, look, Dave Chappelle made a skit on the Chappelle Show where he was a rapper, but they told him, they said, "Look, your bars are cool, but you need a gimmick too."
Right.
So when he performed, he had goat legs.
Dave Chappelle's gimmick. Dave Chappelle.
So it was like, damn, people remember you because you got the goat legs. Not so much the bars.
You remember what the baby did?
What?
When the baby started, he came out. He went to that South by Southwest, dressed up as a baby.
Oh yeah, see, yeah.
And he had a diaper on and everything, a big ass bottle. Like he walked around like that. Like, I'm not. I mean, that's like you can look it up, like for real.
Damn. But look, people remember him for that, huh? Yeah. It was like, damn, remember the dude dressed like a baby and he got bars too?
I'm not necessarily knocking the hustle. I'm just kind of talking story here about it. It's like, how it is interesting how it's kind of changed the dynamics of how we interact in society, because music always seems to kind of seep into society in some way, shape, or form.
They just blamed the Texas shooting on hip hop, which is crazy.
That's so crazy because to me, how can you blame it on something that's so eclectic and so multicultural?
Come on, talk to him. Exactly.
They blame that Buffalo shooting on hip hop.
They sure didn't.
Yeah, really.
They blamed the Texas one.
This is going back a ways now. I mean, even going back to what Ice-T's Cop Killer. Although I got to admit, he laughed all the way to the bank on that one. Him and Warner
definitely.
Brothers, but
Hey, look, it's just funny, because and not to like drift off too much, but I was watching Cat Williams say he not feeling bad about the opioid epidemic, because when they had the crack epidemic, they just put out them Just Say No campaigns. He said, where are those Just Say No campaigns now?
Yeah.
You're not even trying to get these people because now it's a health crisis, But I mean, like I said, but all of it ties into the culture in a way, and it's not really about skin color, because if you're a white rapper, Mexican rapper, black rapper, whatever, you're gonna still be put into that same box by those people on the outside looking in.
Right, because hip hop's a multicultural and probably one of the most eclectic genres, in all of music. I'm kind of looking forward, and I have been looking forward. I still think it's undergoing, because it's such a young genre, an evolution. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more cross-pollinations between different genres and seeing what they, new sounds that they can develop, some of the producers and everything.
Like they did on Yeezus, the Yeezus album, when he got with Daft Punk, and they came up with these crazy beats that some people wasn't ready for it in hip hop. But people, like myself, I was like, I can appreciate that. Or Lil Nas X doing songs with Billy Ray Cyrus. We do need more of that.
Jason Derulo with his Imogen Heap sample, which
crazy. I just saw him in concert. Him and John Legend. They were here on Sunday.
Oh, I bet you.
I took my daughter.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, because I really like John Legend. I like older John Legend songs though. Like I'm not too familiar with most of the new ones, but the older songs definitely, like Save Room, PDAs, things like those. But The newer one, All of Me. I wouldn't want to go to a concert with my boys and him playing that because that's like a love song or whatever. So as far as as far as hip hop though, like what and we kind of been talking about it, but what do you think? What is the future of hip hop to you? Like what do you want to see? I know you said you want to see some cross pollination and stuff with the other genres, but
on my EP we did actually 50 tracks to this track EP. You know, my shouts out to my producer Issue I'm a Beast out in Las Vegas, but we did 50 tracks. Part of it was we were trying to create a new sound, so with Valediction. So we tried to combine like the ambient meditation kind of like, you know, slower pace music that you listen to doing like a yoga, and combine it with like, you know, a trap beat, you know, and things like that. So he scrapped that project, I think probably half a dozen times.
You said 50 songs, and it's only like four. It's like what, like 6 songs on there or 4 songs?
Yeah, it's like 6.
Yeah, but I think that was part of what we were going for, is trying to find a new sound or a new concept, something that, you know, because you got to be original. Not only do you have to, you know, go out and do what Azalea Banks does, you know, and do something completely outlandish, but you also got to be original to really. It's called getting across, you know, and there's so many different ways to do it, you know, so that's always interesting to.
When you say being too original hurts you too in this particular genre, because you got a lot of rappers who keep. I said, wouldn't you say being too original could hurt as well in this particular genre, because
being true to yourself.
That's a fact.
Being unapologetic about what you say or what you feel. You know, like I think one of the quintessential definitions of, you know, an artist to me, if you're talking about a recording artist, somebody that really embodies it completely, you know, is obviously Tupac. You know?
Yeah, man. I was listening to some Pac last night, man. Just soulful, man, look, the people, and that's what I don't like about people who don't like Tupac. They say he wasn't lyrical. But see, my thing is, what he talked about, you didn't have to be lyrical. You didn't have, and I think some stuff he was lyrical on, but I think he just hit your heart.
Well, it's the cadence in his voice. It's his delivery. It's his personification. It's how he embodied himself when he'd go on a video shoot, or, you know, he was just king of the room.
Definitely. So yeah, I do have him on my as he is my GOAT rapper. That's my favorite rapper all time. Only because, and it's the thing, how old you were when someone was out does matter too. Like if you were I was in my teens when Pac died, so it was like it hurt. It was right around the time where we listened to all was All Eyes on Me, and
it just dropped on New Year's, right?
It had just dropped, yeah, and so he was only out for what 6-7 months before he died. So it was like, damn, and the way and how epic the album was at that age. That's all you cared about where I lived.
I so want to say that he dropped that. I could be wrong on this and the timeline of it. I want to say it was like between New Year's of 95 and 96. I think they dropped it almost at like right when the ball dropped, because MTV just pumped that California. Hey,
Underdog, when did All Eyes on Me drop? That's what Shaq would do on inside the NBA. They be having Underdog go look up all that stuff. Hold on. All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me dropped like 96 or something.
Yeah, early 96 though.
New Year's 95, 96 between, I want to say it was on New Year's Eve of 96 or 95, 96.
February 13th, 96.
What's that?
Yeah, I already know.
February 13th.
I was.
Okay.
I knew it was like my 9th to 10th grade year. My 9th grade year.
I could have sworn there was like some kind of New Year's thing.
I think he may have, I don't know, because I know he had just recently got out of jail. So you could be thinking about when he was released, or when he signed with, Death Row.
Probably got California Love around New Year's.
Oh yeah, because California Love did come out before The actual album came out.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it was too.
California Love came out December 3rd.
Oh, really? Okay. So is that when they launched the video?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, December of '95.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know where I'm getting that that New Year's.
It could be that era. You know, that stuff blend together when we get. I'm 42, man. So shoot, I gotta look stuff up now.
I was saying like only thing with me, like a lot of these rap documentaries, it'd be hard for me to watch them because I like lived through it, so I already know what happened. So it'd be hard for me to watch them sometimes.
Yeah,
well,
but I grew up with like even with that Pocket Biggie shit, I know what happened. I was there when that shit was happening, so it's like it's hard watching that shit.
Aren't documentaries for people who wasn't around though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For them, it's good, but I'm saying for me, it'd be like, man, I kind of went through all this.
I got to meet one of Tupac's road dogs. We took him to a hockey game in 2007, right before he died. Shouts out to Big Psych.
Oh yeah,
Big Psych. That's the man. Big Psych. Hey, when he was on Big Psych Daddy. We did it in the caddy on the highway, my way. Yeah, that's all. That's checkout time. He needed somebody to give him $100 because he had no more money on checkout time.
Yeah, I got to. He was coming into the studio that I actually lived in a recording studio for a while called Crush Recording Studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, and he was coming in, just kind of doing a promo tour, kind of just going around. Maybe he was going to drop a few tracks, that kind of thing. Also, he's looking for maybe another producer as well, kind of shopping. Mm-hmm. With one of Master P's former publicists, his name was David Marshall Price. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because, like I said, I got to spend a whole day with him. We took him to a hockey game. We took him to a club. You know, that was really cool. So, as a matter of fact, it's somewhere online. It's still on YouTube. So.
Look, do you think, like I was listening, John Legend said something really, really smart at this concert. And he said, a lot of things you need luck. But he said luck is when opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
Because you could meet who you want, right? Mm-hmm. You can have all the opportunities in the world, but if you're not ready for those opportunities, then you're not gonna. But he was saying, like a lot of people out there, you gotta have it's luck involved in almost everything. Yeah. You gotta just be prepared for that opportunity when that like I see a lot of videos where like Kanye West like, yo, spit a couple bars for me, and the person's like, dude, you better figure something out quick.
Well, it's what they call in sports. I hope I'm not dropping too much sports terminology.
No, you good. We love sports.
Where'd he go? He just
he got his kids, so he checking on his kids real quick.
Okay, but yeah, like it's what they call that right now moment. Mm-hmm. You have to be prepared for right now, and you have to build up incrementally to be prepared for those any kind of moments, whether it be you're spitting bars in front of Kanye West.
Yeah, you gotta get it right.
Exactly.
You gotta be ready because if Kanye, and this is the thing, if Kanye West walked up like for us, if the producers for some network popped up and was like, yo, give us a 10-minute reel of yours that you guys have, and we like, oh wait, can you give me a couple days? No, you should be able to get that right now, right?
Yeah, and
that person ain't gonna be around in 2 days.
And you guys are gonna be ready because you're doing stuff like this right now. Mm-hmm. So when you do have that audition, you guys are gonna be well prepared because you guys have already went through, all the glitches, all the different nuances of your podcast.
Yeah, but Poe bought a new camera. Look at him, he in full HD now. He got the camera. He like, shit, I'm gonna do a podcast every day now.
You're doing it big time.
Yeah, but I say, but that's another. That brings us to another topic. We also feel like if you in this game, and you in this industry, you gotta put money behind yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't expect people to be hooking you up and giving you free beats, and you got to put some money behind yourself if you're just starting out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, that's one thing that I always say. I mean, realistically, depending on, where you want to go, because each person's definition of success is completely different. So, if somebody's in this industry can vary. I know that, some producers will say that there's probably, 4 or 5 reasons, but I feel like it's multiple. Each person's success is probably individual, but if you're going to trying to go to like a commercially, like a Pitbull or somebody like that, you're probably talking 6-7 figures coming in the gate. That's how Pitbull got in, even though he's an older recording artist. He's not the age that he claimed on Wikipedia. I mean, you look at him, he wasn't born in 1981, maybe like 1961, but that's not a diss anyway. But I'm just saying that if you look at somebody like that, he brought his own money into the game.
Flow Rider is somebody else you could say too.
Yeah,
like Flow Rider. I'm like, Flow Rider came in with a quick rap song, then he switched genres quick.
You're
on mute.
They like pop to me.
This is going back to this is going back a ways, but every time I picked up any kind of e-zine or any kind of magazine or anything, when Flow Rider came out, I saw that album cover almost everywhere. Yeah, he put some money, but because he paid some dollars, but yeah, because Flow Rider did his first songs were like rap, but then it was like Poe said, he turned into like a big pop star, like crossover, and that's big in the hip hop too, where you got a lot of people who cross over. Like some would even say Drake is a crossover because some of that stuff is not rap. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, that
some of it is R&B, right?
Yeah, Find Your Love One rap song.
Drake kind of I feel like Drake's kind of evolved from making mixtapes in his grandma's basement to where he is now as a recording artist. It's been kind of interesting to see, even because I didn't hear about him until he came out with Bedrock. Oh,
yeah, he had the So Far Gone mixtape prior to that. Then that was Best I Ever Had. But they say he took that from what's Wayne? Little Wayne got a song called "That's My Dog" with Kid. And he was talking about she buy my socks, my pills, and my perp. That's my. They trying to say Drake heard that and came out with Best I Ever Had, but it don't matter because they all on the same. They was all on the same label at the time. But how lucky was Little Wayne to find Drake and Nicki Minaj? And how sad were the people who say, nah, I'm not going to roll with you. I'm not looking for that type of stuff right now. And then, because Drake and Nicki, and that's another thing, people, future artists or current artists who just getting in.
Shout out to Birdman, too.
Yeah, Birdman. Look, because
Birdman's the one that he was the muscle behind that whole situation, from what I understand, and that part of why a lot of the beef happened was that they weren't loyal to him, and
they weren't loyal to who? Birdman.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's put it like this. Let's say you Birdman, right? And I'm Drake, and Poe is Lil Wayne. And we but let's think. Who did Lil Wayne? Did Drake come to Lil Wayne, or did Drake go to Birdman?
Jay Prince's son is the one that introduced Drake to Lil Wayne.
So and then Lil Wayne told Birdman about him.
And then he also was on a Nickelodeon show called Degrassi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When he was acting, correct. But
he was already into show business, long before he got into music. But those kind of.
Who would you say deserves the most credit behind Drake signing? And I guess ultimately you would say Birdman, because Birdman is the one who actually signed him. Because at that time there was no Young Money, correct?
Let's see.
I think it was just Cash Money at the time.
I'm gonna say Young Money came out, and this is arbitrary. Probably around 2009, maybe it launched.
And that's when Drake kind of dropped. That's when Drake dropped "Thank Me Later."
And so,
go ahead, Paul. You're on mute.
I would say probably if there was one or two people that are credited for that, one is Suzanne, who's Miss Cash Money. And then the other is Birdman, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I can see, but But at that point, look, when this person starts to ascend what level you had for them, I guarantee it's going to be some type of animosity or beef. Like if you say, all right, Drake is gonna be cool. You and Birdman talk, you're like, this is gonna be a good artist, right? So Birdman signed him, but now Drake goes way up here, and all this money is tied into Drake. Now somebody's like, well, shit, I'm the one who signed him. Well, I found him. Who's right in that situation?
Whoever has the contractual agreement.
I see what you're saying, I guess. So Birdman was like, yo, I see you big. I see y'all got this Young Money thing going, but I need my flowers too in this situation.
Whoever has the publishing.
What you was gonna say, Paul?
Oh no, shit, I forgot.
Oh. But yeah, I would think I could see why Birdman could be a little upset about it, but I could also see like it's almost like the Megan Thee Stallion thing. She ascended what 15 what they had. She ascended what they saw originally when they signed her. So at this point, okay, so you told me I gotta pay you this, and this. But shit, man, I'm way past what y'all expected of me. So now what I'm giving you is kind of overkill at this point. But like you said, the contract states that you must give us this portion of your performances, of your royalty, no matter how big you get, right?
Whoever the publisher is has got.
That's crazy.
Same thing with Taylor Swift. That's why Taylor Swift ended up re-recording her entire catalog, because somewhere along the line, and I'm going to keep it PG, for you guys. I'm not going to, but somewhere along the line, she was probably had a boyfriend that was a producer or something early on in her career, and he got his hand in the cookie jar, and she was probably trying to.
She was giving him a lot of money, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's what
Cameron
trying to exonerate him of money he probably didn't even deserve or earn.
No, I wasn't gonna say Cameron. I was gonna say, y'all know Ashanti, right?
Yeah.
Her first album, she about to redo, and I think she redoing it for the same reason, to get the publisher.
That's what Cameron did. Cameron said, "That's your way of getting over, because those people don't want to sell you your masters. They're like, you try to go the nice way, but like, look, I'll buy my masters back from you, and they still don't want to do it. So you just recreate that album under your current imprint that you signed under, and now you can control the master. Well, I guess two people control the masters of it."
From what I've understood, when I first started becoming a recording artist and really entering this industry, whoever has the masters is considered the boss of that project. I mean, they pretty much have the control over it, because they have the original, recordings.
What if you re-record though?
I was actually, what about Jay-Z? His Reasonable Doubt. It's like him, Biggs, and Dame Dash all own the masters.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting situation. I'm sure there's a lot of negotiations, because Jay-Z has that muscle that Dame Dash probably never will have in his life.
Right, and if you relinquish your portion of that, you never going to feel like you got your due from it, because that's going to live on in infamy. That album is going to live on in hip hop. So if you give me 15 million right now and say, all right, man, that shit gonna make 15 million?
Yeah, it's gonna be more. It's gonna make 15 million a year. His first album.
Yeah. So what do you do in that situation?
I think they went to court because they was trying to sell he was trying to sell it as an NFT, and they ended up going to court over it.
Right, and by this point, Jay-Z's probably got enough attorneys and everything.
Oh yeah.
to make that and the political clout to make that kind of.
He got some Beyonce money if he needed. Shit, millionaires.
Hey B, I need a couple million.
They just said LeBron a billionaire now.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, damn, man. That's
LeBron. Where you got LeBron? Yeah. Where you got LeBron on your in your sports hierarchy?
I'd say he's probably number 2 or 3 in the basketball. Well, I guess if you're talking about all sports, but if you're talking strictly,
just basketball
to kind of simplify it. Obviously, I can't go without saying Michael Jordan is number 1. You know what?
People flip flop him and Kobe, LeBron and Kobe.
I'm gonna put another guy in here. Let's see. I'm gonna put LeBron. I'm gonna put him at maybe number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put Larry and Magic. I'm kind of tie them at 3 because they were so great. And then of course Kobe at number 4. And I'm gonna put somebody at number 5. I'm gonna put Penny Hardaway.
Okay, I see you.
Okay. Yeah, Penny was that guy.
I gotta get this out there because it's been, I don't know why it's been burning my brain, but Penny Hardaway was Kobe before Kobe, got drafted in 1996 with that, where he was part of that famous draft class with Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson has never got his due as a basketball player because he was phenomenal.
Yeah, Penny was balling.
Yeah, Penny. Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, the injuries.
Yeah, well, I think he had a problem with his meniscus. I want to say, but he was so silky, and they described him in this way. In the Blue Chips movie, that when he played a college recruit. But that's the best way to describe him. He's just a silky smooth guard, and I don't know if there had ever been anybody that they could market any better in the NBA. He was a good-looking guy too.
Yeah, you know what? We going down a what if rabbit hole, but which I like. But because I saw Draymond made a comment today. Mm-hmm. He said, "Full strength, we have never lost." But I'm saying, but this is the thing. You've also beaten teams that were not at full strength, right?
Well, there's so many different, variables that are involved in winning a basketball game, right? So,
right?
Yeah, there's not just within the dynamics of the team, but what are the politics of the situation? I mean, you look at the Bulls dynasty as a shining example of that. There were so many. What killed the Bulls dynasty was Reinsdorf, and
but that was hatred, man. You wanted to be in the front. You cannot want to be. Why not enjoy the fruits of your labor from the press box?
Since we are talking about hypothetical scenarios, I can't go without talking about hypothetical scenarios without wondering what it would have been like. I still say if there was one team that could have beat the Bulls during that era, it was the Houston Rockets.
Oh yeah, when they were full strength with Olajuwon, they had Kenny. That team was nice. They never played them. They won when Jordan retired, correct?
Yes, they won. They won in 94.
Back to back.
I want to say they won in. No, they didn't win in 95, 90. They won in 93, 94, 94, 95. When Jordan was playing baseball, the Rockets was dominating the league. And Sam Cassell was probably one of the players that made that happen. He was a rookie that year. They drafted him, and that really made the Rockets just even more dynamic than they were before. And then Mario Elie is another. Oh
yeah, Mario. Yeah, I like him. That's 3-point. That was a 3-pointer. Says that. That's what he played defense. That's the first. That might have been one of the first 3-and-D players.
I was looking at
what was Jadakiss? Go ahead, Paul. What was Jadakiss' line about Sam Cassell?
Oh, I'm trying to think about it because he's had so many of them.
He said, "I'm gonna get bucks like Milwaukee because like Sam Cassell."
Yeah, I was looking at the Suns. You remember when the Suns had Jason Kidd and Penny Hardaway?
Oh yeah,
and they had Kevin Johnson on that team in Marion.
That's an amazing front court right there.
Yeah, I wish Barkley instead of going to Phoenix, he would have went to Houston. He would have probably had a ring
afterwards, didn't it?
No, he went to Houston. He went to Phoenix in that because I think didn't the Bulls play the Phoenix with Barkley?
Yeah, but he went to Houston after that, right?
Yes,
but that was with Pippen, I think. It was him and Pippen.
It was him in 92, 93, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he went over there.
That was because the Bulls won their first one in '91, when they beat the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been, I think that would have been their third, because they beat the Trailblazers in '92.
Yeah, with Kevin Duckworth and Drexler Porter.
And then they played the Suns in '93, and I believe there was a guy on the Suns team who, you know, doesn't get talked about. He did have a book coming out, was Richard Dumas. Unfortunately, his career got kind of cut short because of some addiction issues.
But they had Dan Marley too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was a great outside shooter.
But he had to guard Jordan. That's the thing. You using all your energy on defense. Trying to guard the GOAT. You
know what? That's an interesting perspective.
And hey, the GOAT was Pippen. Let Pippen tell it. Pippen saying he was the GOAT.
Look, if Pippen, this is the thing. If Pippen was on another team, like this is the thing. Like, look, we talk about this with boxing. If I'm the challenger and you're the champion, and we go the distance, the champion is definitely going to probably get the slight nod in the cards. Because if you want to beat the champ, you're gonna have to either knock the champ down or knock the champ out, right? You got to do something. Oh, but if it goes into all 12 rounds, then they're probably not gonna give you the decision, unless you would have to severely outbox your opponent. Like with Pippen, dude, you played on the team with Jordan. Like what? You didn't outplay him. You did, but I do like Pippen though. I think Pippen is top 10 in my book. Like if I had my top 10 of Pippen's on it, especially top 10 defensive players all time. I think he was
better defense and Jordan was the better offensive.
But it's like one of those things. It's like with LeBron. Like LeBron would have more rings if it wasn't for Steph Curry, if it wasn't for KD joining the Warriors. With Pippen, it's like, all right, you weren't a better defender, but who did they give the Defensive Player of the Year award to? They gave it to Michael Jordan. Like those you could have argued. There was one final series where Jordan was like, damn, they should probably give it to Pippen for a finals MVP, but they gave it to Jordan anyway.
Yeah, Jordan had the name. That's probably what I think Pippen trying to say. After a while, it was Jordan had that name and the machine.
Did Seattle Supersonics Nate McMillan ever win one that you know of?
Nate McMillan? Ain't he coaching right now?
Yeah, he coaching. I think he coaching the Blazers still.
He was a great.
Or the Pacers, one of them.
Yeah, I like Nate McMillan.
No, he didn't one.
He didn't.
Nah,
that's because of Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan shut. I said all them ones like that. Jordan shut all them down.
Well, Jordan stopped a lot of players from getting rings.
Only one that won was the Rockets. Like y'all was talking about the Rockets. They won a few years, and that was just because Jordan started playing baseball.
I gotta wonder too. And I know we're kind of going down the hypothetical situation. And I've been wondering about this. I'm going to be very careful about how I say it, but I always wonder, A, what happened in the Len Bias situation, and B, if Len Bias had lived, gosh, to watch the Celtics and the Bulls go at it would have been interesting, with the talent that they already had on that squad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's funny. Even before this, I was watching And One mixtape. It was talking about how And One took over for a few years, but it died down now. But they was just talking about how it started, and it was showing like a lot of the players. Y'all remember like Ayo, Hot Sauce, Skip to My Lou, Half Man, Half Amazing. It had all them on there and shit. And it was talking about basically like now. So if you look at all the players now, they doing the And One dribbles, and now the kids are doing those. So the kids are copying And One. They don't understand, like they copying John Moran and all them and Curry, but they don't understand it comes from And One. So they was talking about how And One kind of like worked its way into the legacy of how the players play now.
It's kind of interesting because that's how the ABA kind of with Julius kind of evolved it in the 70s and changed the dynamics of basketball in the 80s, which led to the NBA merger. But it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that, because you're absolutely right. And One and one did have quite an influence on today's game, and may have even changed the way it's played.
I was just reading an article where they were talking about N1 players. I think, but it was Shumpert who was talking about him. But
yeah, he was
like, what he said. He said when hot sauce came into the league, they turned him into ketchup.
Yeah. Yeah, the only player that made it to the league was Skip to my Lou because everybody was like
Ray Austin. Ray Austin.
They didn't have the discipline like NBA players. They gotta do that shit if they don't like it or not. But the N1 players, you only playing that one game, you going back to the street, you smoking weed, all that shit. NBA players got to do that shit every day, no matter what.
More disciplined, yeah.
Like Curry shoot 3,500 shots every day, no matter what. So that was
I actually did a story on Mark Jackson's half brother. He was an N1 player. Died because he played for a while. He played in semi-pro ball with a team in Minot, North Dakota called the Snow Bears.
Oh, okay.
I did a story. He died on the same day or around the same time that Nate Dogg died. I actually did a story on him. So that was kind of interesting to talk to people that I knew and stuff like that.
You think the Warriors owed Mark Jackson a ring for 2015?
It may happen.
They owe him a ring, I think.
I be wondering why he ain't got no coaching job yet.
I think he one of them dudes that like a Kendrick Lamar, almost like I think Kendrick Lamar love rap, and he could come out and drop an album when he want to. Mark Jackson could go get a coaching job if he wanted.
Well,
it's like, do he really want to go through coaching? He looked like he had fun being an announcer, but he could go coach right now. He could go right now and get a job today.
Who would know more about basketball than probably Mark Jackson, maybe Larry Wilkins?
Right.
Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins from the Cavs.
Lenny Wilkins. I apologize for that, but yeah, who would know more about basketball than Mark Jackson? Lenny Wilkins. That's
you got Lenny Wilkins. George Karl alive still?
George Karl, yeah, him and DeMarcus Cousins still be going at it. They be going at it all the time.
Oh man,
and they beat still.
Like a Popovich might be the master right now.
Yeah, he's.
Well, they said both of the coaches came from Popovich. The Boston coach and Steve Kerr both came from Popovich.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Oh, that's an interesting story.
Right now, go to state.
Who winning? Go to state winning
state by 2.
Look, I said this will be the best. This matchup will make for the most interesting finals. Nothing against the Heat, but watching Boston, and you know what it is, and it's Boston giving a middle finger to Kyrie. Like this is my thing. I'm a Nets fan, but I'm not a Kyrie fan. Only because the way he handled the situation with LeBron after they won the ring. Then the way he treated Boston, like you were supposed to be the leader of them youngsters. You were supposed to be the leader of Tatum and Brown and Marcus Smart. That's why they brought you in there. You quit when it got tough. Then y'all went to the playoffs, played the Cavs. Y'all went to Game 7. You said you couldn't make the game because your nose was hurting or broken or whatever. But what it really was is he could not stand to see LeBron come into Boston, beat them in a Game 7 after he just left LeBron.
That could have a nose injury. Could have so many different.
He was like, I can't make it to Game 7, y'all. Y'all on your own. You left them youngins out there to play against LeBron in a Game 7, and you couldn't even sit on the sideline and cheer him on. He said, I'm not watching this shit, man. Like. Because you just made this big stink about how you probably were better than LeBron. And they was talking about that today on First Take. If Curry wins this year, would he be better than LeBron? And JJ Redick was like, y'all jumping the gun, bro. It's longevity with LeBron.
They're such different style of players that would be kind of hard to compare them anyway. Because
I think Curry got a better team around him, man.
That's what they said too. Curry got better team than LeBron, dude. They said LeBron been dropping 30 a game for like 19 years. When you can do that, then you can compare yourself. It's because it's not all about the rings. And I don't want to get too much into the ring thing, but my biggest argument with a ring is this. That is a team accomplishment. Mm-hmm. You know, the team wins the ring. One player don't win a ring. The ring argument started when people started trying to compare LeBron to Jordan. And those fans of Jordan were like, well, look, you can't really compare LeBron to Jordan because LeBron don't got 6 rings. We never heard ring arguments before that happened.
Before Scottie Pippen, when he was drafted, because he was originally drafted by the Supersonics. Mm-hmm. Before, I can't imagine Scottie Pippen, Sean Kemp, and Gary Payton, but that would be fun. When he was, involved with that trade, Jordan was vulnerable up until that point from the standpoint of he could be exposed in the NBA playoffs. That's why they would always lose to the Pistons. Mm-hmm.
Right. He needed another, and that's what we always say about NBA too. It's never about one person. You need that sidekick. Mm-hmm. You need a good sidekick. You need a sidekick who's just as good as you are nowadays, right?
And I feel like if you look back, that's where Jordan was kind of flawed without the support. Because the Bulls never had a true dominant, center throughout their runs. But I think they were good in their outright, and they were good in different areas. Bill Cartwright.
Everyone played their role on that team perfectly. Mm-hmm. Phil Jackson, made them Winnington, Cartwright, Stacey King, all of them played the role that they were supposed to play, and no one tried to overplay their role. Mm-hmm. Ron Harper, BJ Armstrong. Look, you just managed the game.
And that's a good example right there, because you mentioned Ron Harper. Now, granted, he was in more of the twilight of his career when he came to the Bulls, but he was a big scoring machine with the Clippers. That he played. He was kind of like an Adrian Dantley. If you look at his stats, they're crazy. Mm-hmm. But Dantley was a great scorer, but was he a great teammate and an overall basketball player?
Correct.
Of course, he was a fantastic.
Harper was an awesome teammate, and it was and that's the thing. Look, you came from where you were the man. You was the man on the Clippers, mm-hmm. and you came to a team with Jordan and Pippen and played your role because look. They probably told him, look, don't worry. We don't care what you did over there. We just need you to manage the game. But you're going to get some rings out of this if you do it.
Yeah, they worked with, man. You know how hard it probably was for Scottie Pippen to work with Robin? Robin used to whoop their ass every game when he played for the Pistons.
Yep.
They used to, so it was hard for them to probably play with Robin.
That's almost like the Warriors going to get KD. Shit. Look,
you get your ass whooped. He was fouling the shit out of them.
Yeah, you getting your ass whooped, right? So you like, damn, we got to get somebody from that team that's whooping our ass. So you get Rodman come to the Bulls. Now you don't got to worry about playing against Rodman, right? Same thing with KD. Damn, LeBron just beat us. LeBron will never beat us if we go get KD. And he did. I don't think they beat him. No, they didn't beat him with KD, right?
I don't think they did. I'd have to go back.
I don't know. They played one final series. I think they lost. That's the series where LeBron had 50 game one and JR did the boneheaded timeout thing. That was the
Weber?
Yeah, he did the Weber on him when he should have just shot it. He should have just put the shot back up. That was a series against KD, but I think they got after that game, LeBron kind of gave up, man, because you drop 50 and then you lose. What you like? Damn, man, I can't drop 50 every game.
That kind of says something though. That stat kind of says it right there. If you drop 50 and you lose, maybe you should have done 35 and win.
Hey, look, you drop 50 and lose, and then you guys say we gotta play them again. And he was busting his ass that series too. So it was like, all right, y'all, we're gonna pack this one in. Because if they would have won game one, maybe they would have had a little bit more motivation to finish out and try to play hard. But like, That's like, look, we was in the Marines, right? We would run 3-4 miles, and we would see where we. So you trying to get back where you started from. That's the end of the run, right? So you like, are we running? All right, we see where we started. It's almost over. But now the person wants to go take another detour. You like, yo, man, look, I'm done. I can't run no more, bro. Look, we done already ran. I see the house where we started. Nah, I can't do it. So I think, with LeBron, them, they was like, yeah, man, we lost this game after we played so hard. But as far as this album, now I want to get into one of the songs before we go. And I got the song list. I got the song list here. It's the Metaphysical Yoga Lesson. We got Drop Baby Drop featuring Stephen Henley Jr. Hiding in Science. I heard Coconut Water that's one of your.
Coconut Water's really my joint. I combined so many different elements of my life into that almost 2 minute and 30 seconds.
9 seconds, yeah.
Yeah. So, that was hard to kind of consolidate all of that. There's a lot of personal stuff in Coconut Water, everything that was going on in my life at that time. And, the chorus says, feeling the effects of dehydration in June,
Hey, look, today is June 2nd, and I felt it. In New York, it was like 81. I know some people be like, what, 81, that's it? But it's hot.
It's very humid in Hawaii. The temperature doesn't fluctuate that much as far as usually between 75 and 85, but the humidity in the summer really kicks up. So you have to drink water constantly. So,
I heard the cost of living still high there?
Yes, it's getting that way on Kauai. Right now, okay, the median price for a house in Kauai went from 700,000 to 1.5 mil.
Damn.
So that kind of gives you a perspective on what it's like to try to be in the housing market here.
Right.
And then it causes a lot of problems for people that rent.
People start finding out about these secrets. Like, look, some people will think like living in Hawaii was probably one of the best kept secrets, right? But now it's like, nah, not anymore. Because people come in and that's how it is in New York. Because this is the thing, people generally you buy a house through the bank and pay your mortgage. Out here in New York, man, you got people putting cash offers on $2 million houses. So it's like the person who you ain't got no shot if you're trying to go through the bank to get a house when someone is offering that person cash instead.
Right.
So
they got that on deck.
They're like, yeah, I got 500,000 right now. You just walk away. You're like, all right, well, shit, I ain't getting this house then if they got 500,000 cash. But yeah, let's go into Coconut Water. This is off the Valediction EP. This is Blasco Says. Look, my man is a historian almost. I hear him. I can hear it in his voice. He know what he's talking about. We're glad to have you on the show. Shout out to Eris and UBO again.
I feel like I've made 2 friends today. It's been great because, like I said, it feels like I've known you guys for years. Just
hey, that's how we do it, man. I'm an investigator, so in real life. So what happens is when I talk to people, they think that we buddies, and then they say stuff that they probably shouldn't say, and I'll be like, "Damn, you should have told me that, right?" They be like, "Well, I thought we was cool." We are not cool. That's my superpower. That's my superpower, actually, is building rapport. But sometimes like it hurts.
Years of my drug laundering scheme, right?
So, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's write. Let me get my pen out. I gotta write some notes and stuff. But I don't do that type of investigation. I'm just making sure the U.S. government don't hire any weirdos. So I'm doing the backgrounds for that. But so yeah, you good with your money laundering unless you're trying to apply for a federal job in the future.
Occupation, because you have to think about dynamics, nuances, where this is coming from, where that's coming from. I kind of got a taste of it. I'm not an investigative journalist, but I've been around a lot of, investigative journalists that do the hard news stuff. So you almost have to use that same area of the brain.
But yeah, I wonder what people feel like though with investigative journalism, because now Because look, if you wanted the real story, you could have just went to the person, but now you're going around getting that stuff from other people. So how did that person feel when the story finally come out and all of the stuff they were hiding from you, someone else told you? I bet they wouldn't like that, right?
It happens, right? That's your job, right? To expose it. So
yeah, definitely. All right, man. So we do appreciate you, man, because you know I know Poe is a journalist, and I'm a journalist in the making. You know what I'm saying? On my way there, I started out DJing, but I think this is what I like doing more than playing the music. So we appreciate you, man. You know, you was writing and stuff like that, and doing your journalist thing. So appreciate you.
I have a way of about everybody that I touch kind of turns to gold. I don't know how that is. I don't know why.
We coming on here again. We're gonna have you on next week too, then, man. Come on.
Okay. Next thing you know, you
turn to gold.
So, you know.
All right, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna hit them with this coconut water off the Valediction EP. Y'all go get that now. It's out on all DSPs. This is the homie Blasco Says out of Hawaii. And y'all listening to it right now on the Just Two Black Brothers podcast. Let's go.
That's a dehydration in June. Better get that coconut water real soon. Quick, better get to the health food store soon. It's a dehydration and real soon. Better get that coconut water. The effects from the night before, shot after shot. I can't take it anymore. Fan plate keeps spinning right round, overstimulated by any sound. Morning slowly drifts into afternoon. Quick, better get to the health food store soon. Feeling the effects of dehydration in June. Better get that coconut water real soon. Rain continues to pour down like a monsoon. About to experience another meltdown real soon. Slumped over at the 3 o'clock session. The therapist said I didn't learn my lesson. Guess it makes life more depressing. Feeling the effects of dehydration in June. Better get that coconut water real soon. Quick, better get to the health food store soon. It's a dehydration and real soon. Better get that coconut water. In my meditative state, slumped over, time to make another deadline. No time to panic or call another hotline. Inspired by Inya, my musical muse. Let her metaphysical synergy spark another creative fuse. On the beach filled with sand grains, the sunlight is Novocaine for my soul. Let the eels track beat my mind in control. Spinning that 45 right round. Gotta meet another deadline. No time for a meltdown. At the beach, straight up meditating. So much debating and marinating. Got to go right. Time to get paid. Drink the coconut water to hydrate real quick. Madonna's Israelite video makes my head sick. Lovesick, I feel you forevermore. Time to sweep all of my emotions from the cutting room floor. I feel the onslaught of another meltdown session coming on. Feeling the effects of dehydration in June. Better get that coconut water real soon. Quick, better get to the health food store soon. It's a dehydration and real soon. Better get that coconut water. I love you more with each passing day. Too bad my words are glorious. They just get in the way. The clouds rotate, give my mind clarity. I'm super sincere. I feel the spirit when you're away and when you're near. This first may be my valediction. Feeling the effects of dehydration in June. Better get that coconut water real soon. Quick, better get to the health food store soon. It's a dehydration and real soon. Better get that coconut water.
Observing and witnessing as I continue my quest. I'm ready for the next step and whatever it
Yo. Yeah, you got to get that hydration up, man. You was talking to him on there.
Yeah, I was saying a lot more, probably than, in that 2 minutes, 38 seconds. But that that was a big deal in my life. There was a lot going on, a lot of emotional turmoil, and I was able to get that out through my record, and that really helped. That record was therapy for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Where your coconut water at?
What's up?
Where your coconut water at right now?
I got H2O right now, but
what's the temperature out there now?
That's what you talking about? You drinking like out of the coconut?
It's actually inside the coconut. It's actually, they actually take it and they put it in mason jars out here.
Now they got like they be selling it out here in the cans and shit, Coke, but that shit nasty.
Hold on, Paul.
The way you drink it probably way better.
Yeah, well, it's actually supposed to give you really, really good hydration. So because you have to always drink water out here. I have to, otherwise I get dehydrated and it doesn't take very long.
All right. Yeah, man, we appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, likewise. Like I said, I feel like I made 2 friends. So
no doubt. You got any shout outs?
I'll shout out to my producer Issue. Like, I'm a Beast out in Las Vegas, Exchange Currency Records. I'll shout out to Eris at UBO. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'll shout out to my mom. My mom's near Chicago. So I'm trying to think if there, and my auntie out in Florida. So.
And then I just saw Rihanna just had her kid a little while ago. I didn't know she had her kid already.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they said it's a boy, but they don't know the name yet.
Is Chris Brown involved with that?
No, she got a kid by ASAP Rocky.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's her ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, nice.
The kid is born already?
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Did he get out? I know he was. I know they had him in jail.
Yeah, I guess he out.
Oh, okay.
You were right in the epicenter of the whole ASAP movement. Matter of fact, ASAP Ferg's fathers actually did like a lot of designing for Puff Daddy when he was Puff Daddy before.
He made the Bad Boy logo.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. But no, I was just looking at that because it say right now, it say the one of the leaders of the group, it say ASAP Bari says ASAP Rocky is burnt out, and I guess he made a diss song about him. So
yeah, they said he the reason ASAP Rocky. Yeah, they saying he the reason ASAP got locked up.
For real?
They saying like, look, hey, I'm like one of those things where I think ASAP was identified by he was identified by somebody, and I guess they beefing, so they were saying that he was somebody who probably told them who it was or whatever, but because they beefing big time right now. Mm. But look, all that stuff comes to an end, right? It sucks that it does, like it works like that, but those groups never really last. Yeah, true. True. But look, but you look at groups like 8Ball and MJG, UGK, even Outkast had they beef.
And did you watch that Versus?
Yeah, that Versus was fire.
That Versus was good, huh?
That was like probably one of the best ones.
I just wish Pimp C was there. That's why it wasn't really like 8Ball and MJG was getting them because Pimp C wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Those beefs were reported so differently now in this Vlad TV world, where Vlad will put somebody on blast. If he puts you on blast, he can end careers.
But is that investigative journalism? Or is that just the police?
It may be a little CN action going on there.
Like, come on, man. Like, but that's why we don't do that here. We don't ask people about criminal. We don't ask nobody anything criminal, man. Because I feel like that stuff is just too intrusive. Like I was watching this interview with King Von, rest in peace, was on the Breakfast Club, and they were like, "Oh, you ever filled out a job application before?" And he was like, "Yeah." They say, "What do you put when you get to the part where it says, 'Are you a felon?'" And I'm like, "But see, Lil Durk told him, hey." Lil Durk told King Von, like, man, don't answer no more of their questions, man, because
that interview, I think it was Charlemagne the God when he interviewed I want to say Little Mama. He did her dirty.
Yeah, it was Charlemagne. Yeah, Charlemagne was doing him dirty, man. He almost like a Vlad almost too, because it's like, Like, you want to know about these people, and I understand that's what the fans want to hear, but it shouldn't be that way.
Kind of a little bit, has a little bit more sway. The universe has a little bit more finesse.
Oh yeah,
I like his finesse. You can just tell that man has been around. You know what I mean? Around, like,
yeah, definitely.
A je ne sais quoi about him, a calm. So
and what you got working on for the rest of the year?
You know, I'm gonna be working on. I would like to bring a video out, an animated video to Coconut Water. I would like to also bring out a couple of new singles as well. So,
okay. Look, Poe dropped the R&B song, and then he had somebody, I think, on Fiverr dropped him a visualizer for it.
You know, Fiverr's a great way to find really talented artists to collaborate with. It's kind of weird because I feel like I've referred to it as we're in the Dropbox era of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not in the studio anymore. Just, you know what I mean? Like in the old days where you're all kind of in one spot.
Right.
So busy, they can't be like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're in that kind of Dropbox era of music, and so, you know, I don't think actually that actually hurts the music, even though, like, you know, you don't probably get that organic feeling as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like it opens the door for creativity on the flip side, because you have a lot more opportunities to kind of collaborate with somebody in a creative setting where they're relaxed.
Yeah, especially the person who puts that all together and make it sound like they were all together. That's a talent to have.
Yeah. That happens, you know, so much. The same thing with all Lil Wayne's stuff. Is a lot of his stuff is a cappella.
Mm-hmm. Are you a Lil Wayne fan?
Yes, I am.
I feel like he's top 5 definitely. He don't get the love he deserves.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I don't probably dive as deep into his catalog as you have, but you know, I remember he used to do you know, all the stuff with like Jeep Beats. You know, and all of the different DJs that came out.
Yeah, he used to love the DJs. Then he felt hurt by the DJs at some point. It was like, damn, he had a little war. It wasn't long lasting, but it was like
they probably made his crowds, you know, 5 times. They made him probably 5 times as big as he was, even when he came out, you know, early with what The Block Is Hot, you know, going back to what.
But I think his issue was when he was doing his mixtape run, he was really only working with drama, right? So it was like a lot of other DJs was taking the music and putting it out as well. But like, I feel like Lil Wayne was showing his loyalty exclusively to DJ Drama, because if you listen to Dedication 2, he says, if anybody want a verse from me, I'm going. It's 100,000 a verse. So either Drama is my dude, or Drama got dough. So Drama was his boy. So Wayne wasn't charging Drama 50,000. Something like that any other DJ that he didn't fool with, you had to pay that price. So what happened was a lot of DJs was just putting his songs on mixtapes.
I was thinking 100K, man, the recoupment of that would be really, really hard for one single.
Yeah, definitely. But that's why he's saying either Drama got money or Drama is my boy. And I lean toward Drama was probably his boy, because Drama wasn't paying him that much money for them songs. And I talk to Paul, I think about it like with DJ Khaled. Like, how does that work? Is Khaled, so like a person like DJ Khaled, do you procure those beats and then you just say, hey, I got this beat I want you to rap on for this album? So are you paying that artist up front and then everything that comes from the selling that album goes to you? Or all those artists getting a piece of that album?
Right. Well, it depends on the publishing, and again, you know, how the contractual agreements work within their own contracts as well. So it's probably a lot of lawyers that can be involved with that, and I'm sure that goes through the semantics of all the
which is why you probably don't see a lot of people doing that type of stuff. You got to be a certain person to probably even pull that off, because Khaled album probably got like 20 artists on it, right?
And anything that he co-signs right now is like, that's gonna blow. He's the man right now. You know what's interesting is Snoop Dogg just said in an interview, I believe now, which is really contradictory to what I, you want a verse from me, it's 200,000. It's like, well, he did a track with Kendra Black, who's an independent artist. Actually, I believe she's out in New York, and I know she didn't pay 200K for that. Not to say that she doesn't have, skills and stuff, but that's 200K is a lot of grip.
Yeah. Definitely for one song. That better be. Look, if I give you 200,000, man, you rapping on every song on my album. I need you a featured guest on every single song. But like I said, the money in it. So the money in this genre is the thing where, like, come on, man, you got to do better with. And like you made a good point. Hip hop might be ain't the young. Would you say it's the youngest genre?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know it got sub-genres under it, like the drill and this and that. But as far as hip hop against the other likes of like rock and country, R&B, hip hop is probably the youngest out of all of them.
Illinois and Katie Got Bands in Chicago.
Yo, I just saw a top female rap list and they had Katie Got Bands on it. Top 50 female artists all time, they had Katie Bands number 30.
Really, I'm surprised she's that high, but that King Louis track that she did, Pop Out, that was juking.
Yeah, I remember that joint, man. I was like, damn, why they got Katie Got Bands? It was funny because some of like City Girls, they wasn't on it, so they were upset because I think that list had so Katie Got Bands was actually out of 50, they had Katie Got Bands number 25.
Wow.
But they had Young M.A. after, but look, so 25 was Katie Got Bands. So these are the people these are some of the people they put after Katie Got Bands. Remy Ma, Snow the Product, Iggy Azalea, Lizzo, Rashida, Young M.A. They had those rappers after Katie Got Bands.
Iggy was signed with T.I., I believe, and then Snow the Product is interesting because
Poe interviewed her a couple times.
If you look on her songwriting under BMI, for a long time she wasn't. It was hard to find her. Like she's kind of interesting. She's out of San Diego. As a matter of fact, she was on Twan Up's record in 2015 called On August 4th.
Paul, how many times you had Snow the Product on?
A couple times.
Yeah. So he interviewed her a few times.
Kind of
what you trying to say, man? Say it with your chest. What you trying to say?
Couldn't find her for a long time. She was elusive.
Sound like you trying to say so. I'm trying to figure out what you trying to say.
No, he just said she took that break. He was trying to find her song credits on BMI. He couldn't find it.
It was hard. I know my producer looked for a long time, and he couldn't.
Were you trying to get her on a song or something?
Yeah, well, that's what he was trying to get the credits and everything straightened out because he had stuff was on there. So because he does all of that stuff too, with BMI, so he makes sure everything is. Hey,
the game owes somebody some money, so I think he put everything in the Whack 100 name because he like she ain't getting that damn money.
Same thing with what Irv Gotti's label, it used to be Murder Inc. and then it became The Inc. and then he tried to sign Vanessa Carlton. She was over, coming off of 2 platinum records, in 2007, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And she came out with Heroes and Thieves with Irv Gotti, but I don't believe that was necessarily a commercial success, and it kind of probably accelerated her getting not necessarily blackballed, but she got a hit from her since 1,000 Miles, and
right.
That kind of amount of records and just drop off the face of the earth.
You gotta watch the company you keep.
Yeah,
but
not smoke a lot of weed before.
Definitely. But look, once again, like I said, we thank you. We're gonna stay locked in with you. We're gonna stay tapped in with you. Shout out to Eris again for introducing us to you, because I think we always, we always got to make that good first impression, and I feel like this was a successful event for us.
Right, and likewise. So I really appreciate you guys having me on, and thank you for having me. I'm very grateful for it.
Definitely. Anything you want to leave the listeners and your fans before we go?
I probably just give a shout out. You can pick up Valediction on about any different streaming platform, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, etc.
Sounds good.
So
Cole, you got anything?
Nah, man, it was nice talking to you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Likewise.